Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Starship Nostalgia. I'm your captain and host, Keats, and today we'll be taking an overview of Star Trek as a whole, before diving into various shows and movies in more depth. As always, we will go through an explanation of what Star Trek is, as well as what Star Trek means to me. I've been watching Star Trek since before I can remember, and most of my youth was spent plastered in front of the TV watching Star Trek Voyager during its run. I like to joke that I came to age during the silver age of Star Trek and science fiction TV, where TNG and SG-1 had already set the standard on the small screen, and the original series movies had already captured audiences on the big screen. I think it was actually the perfect time to be brought into science fiction, because you had a massive catalog to fall back to, and during my teen years, we were treated to the Battlestar Galactica remake, Enterprise, and Stargate Atlantis. The golden years of science fiction television were heavily influenced by Star Trek, at least in my part of the world, and continues to be so. Star Trek is an enduring system, boldly going where no one has gone before since late 1966, and has continued to be a foundation for geeks and nerds for the past 55 years. The basic ideals of humanity being better than its parts, and the adventure of the unknown, have tied together a wide variety of stories, captains, and characters throughout these series. From its debut, the series tackled social and racial issues and asked the questions we needed to ask ourselves before humanity could be worthy of sailing among the stars. What would society look like without war, disease, and poverty? What could not just humanity as a whole accomplish, but as individuals, if we weren't constrained by the trappings of modern society? It presented a future where a majority of humanity found greatness within themselves. They seek knowledge and to explore for its own sake, not for profit or ownership. From the handsome and dashing James T. Kirk to the powerful and patient commander and later captain Ben Sisko, we were treated to a variety of characters, all with different stories and personalities, striving to uphold those great Federation values through dire and oftentimes terrifying circumstances. Kirk paved the way. He explored beyond humanity's understanding, pushing the boundaries of what we know as truth or fiction, what is possible or impossible. It was fitting that he was followed by a measured, quiet, contemplative man of learning, one who quoted Shakespeare just as much as Kirk, but with different emphasis. Jean-Luc Picard pushed the definitions and understanding of the universe that humanity holds just as much as Kirk, even within the established and explored borders of the Federation. The leaders who serve as the focus of each series are representatives of humanity, but always humanity at its best. While Gene Roddenberry never wanted interpersonal conflict in Trek, it found its way in after his death anyway, proving that humanity will always crave drama. We're a social species, and we thrive off interactions with each other. While society has evolved mostly past the seven deadly sins lifestyle in Star Trek, there will always be that guy you don't want to work with, or times when you feel like your boss just doesn't listen and you end up killed by salt vampires. My point is, Utopia still needs to have nuance, and the addition of that nuance and conflict might be the most important thing added post Roddenberry. As you will learn as you travel through space and time to explore nostalgia and memory with me, I'm a huge proponent of miniatures alongside computer models and digital effects. When you watch Star Trek from the original series to The Next Generation and most of Deep Space Nine, the ships and sets look the same today as they did when they originally aired. Digital effects and CG models are a constantly evolving technology, and a movie can appear significantly worse a year later due to the constantly moving bar of CG standards. A physical model will only look dated by the design and budget, and solid simple set design will go a lot further and last longer than shiny green screen. While a lot of science fiction walked alongside Star Trek in the use of models, and Star Wars pioneered huge leaps in what could be accomplished with wire movement and stop motion, the original Constitution class Enterprise will always hold a special place in my heart, and the movie era refit even more so. The movie era brought with it a professional studio and all the equipment and talent to create something incredible and evergreen. The combination of Jerry Goldsmith's score with the incredible Detailed Enterprise refit in the motion picture will forever set the bar for Starship reveals. The reveal of the hero's ship, restored and ready to explore the galaxy in painstakingly crafted beauty, set the stage for franchises to follow, and showed how much talent and work goes into creating something unique and special that will live beyond its 2-hour runtime. The motion pictures have never been perfect, and often suffered from budgetary and time constraints, as well as distance from the original vision. The final movie adventure for the Next Generation crew involved more action, four-wheelers, and space bazookas than exploration of space or the human condition. And while movie experiences have changed since the 80s, modern movies such as Signal and Interstellar show that audiences still crave unique science fiction stories that have been told on the small screen by Star Trek for the last 50 years. That is what Star Trek is to me, beyond the cool gadgets and amazing starships. It's a setting to take incredible and admirable characters and put them into wondrous stories. Stories that range from James Bond silliness to confrontations of modern human failings such as racism, sexism, and greed. After all, Star Trek had the first interracial kiss on television between James Kirk and Uhura. While this was the first big moment that the series broke ground with, the show would continue to push boundaries about society's understandings of gender, race, and family. Deep Space Nine featured a black single father on frontier space, portraying strength, charisma, and a deep love of his child. Voyager showed us the resilience and smarts of our first woman captain, and now Discovery has pushed the fold with the series' first transgender and non-binary characters, openly gay couple, and non-human captain. Star Trek has shown millions of people of all shapes and sizes, genders, and orientations that they mean more to humanity than they can understand. The greatest among humanity are the focus of these shows. Real people with flaws, but the example that humanity has chosen to represent them in space. Not just if you look or act like Kirk and Picard, but also Sulu, Burnham, Janeway, Sisko, Odo, Kira, Gray, and Adiras. We can all be the best that humanity has to offer, as long as we reach for the stars, and that is what Star Trek means to me. Well, our journey through space and time has come to the end for today, but we will embark on another adventure soon, my friends. Until then, this is Captain Keats, signing off.